Hey guys, it's Claire from Clairified Creations and welcome back. If you've never seen my face before, I'm Claire and I make videos all about college at the University of Tennessee, lifestyle videos, vlogs, pretty much anything. Today we're going to be talking all about the UTK dining halls, University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and what the dining halls are like, your options, some experiences that I have personally learned from. I have a lot to share with you guys, including some of my tips and advice. The first thing I want to cover is your options regarding your dining hall meals and plans. Now, if you guys are freshmen, you're gonna have to unfortunately be enrolled in a specific dining hall plan and you are not able to get out of it. The cost of this one is $2,174 and that is the 7-day ball access plan. It's over $2,000 per semester and like I said, they don't make any exceptions whatsoever. You're kind of stuck with it because you're freshmen and the university can charge whatever they want. It is super expensive, but you do get a few things that are going to be kind of counteracting that very hefty price tag. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to give you guys a few more things that you can either do if you're not a freshman and you want to do some dining hall plans. I'll leave the entire list of dining hall plans up here so you guys can see what might work for you. The first thing we're going to do is compare each of them by price and let you guys know so that way you can kind of figure out your price range and how much you're willing to spend on the dining hall plan. I did want to make a quick note about the dining hall prices during the fall semester of 2020. As you guys know, the coronavirus has greatly impacted everything, so universities are included and the dining hall prices have slightly decreased by just a little bit, so there is a few $100s difference, but pretty much there isn't that big of a difference for the fall and the spring semester of 2021. The main program that I know most about is the all-vol 7-day access plan, which is for freshmen because last year I was a freshman and I had that plan. First of all, let's talk about what is included. With this specific program, you are able to get meals 24/7 as long as the dining halls are open, of course, but this includes breakfast, lunch, and dinner as many times as you want. So it is unlimited. You don't have to think about when you're going to get your meals or anything as long as the dining halls are open and running, and they usually open around 7 or 8 to about 8 or 9 o'clock. So you have a very large time to get your meals, so don't worry about that. Also, something that is really cool about this program is they do include $300 in dining dollars. Now you might be wondering, what are these dining dollars? I had the same questions as a freshman because nobody really tells you. Dining dollars are basically what they sound like. They are free money, free with their $2,000 price tag. They're included so you can use dining dollars at any restaurant on campus. Now at UT they have several different restaurants that you're available to purchase food at, but we'll cover that a little bit more later. But know that dining dollars can be used from anything from the pod markets, which are little mini grocery stores, to other restaurants that are on campus and offer dining dollar equivalency. UTK offers 3 main dining halls for your guys' convenience and they're located throughout the entire campus, so overall, wherever you are, you should be able to have quick, easy access to a dining hall that's nearby or close to one of your classes. The first one we're going to discuss is Presidential Court Building, also known as PCB. This court area is located towards the west side of campus. It's also in really close proximity to the Carrick, so South and North Carrick. PCB is definitely not my favorite dining hall. Let's be honest, none of them are. But overall, if you live towards the west side, you're probably going to be spending quite a bit of time over there and eating at that dining hall. They have several options there. Sometimes they'll have an omelet bar, which is really good. It is okay. It's not the greatest, but you know, at least you know it's kind of fresh. And they choose your toppings, cheese, ham, mushrooms, any type of vegetable, they'll put it in and cook it right up for you. They also have a cereal bar, which is pretty standard for any of the dining halls. Then they have their mainline desserts, drinks, lemonade, tea, and I forgot the salad bar. Next, we're going to talk about Stokely Hall. Stokely is a dorm that is located towards the middle of campus, so I would recommend going there if you're around the library or somewhere close nearby. That way you don't have to walk as far. Stokely is alternatively known as Fresh Food Company, but we just like to call it Stokely because it's a lot easier to remember. It's much more famous for fresh food, as you can tell from the title. Stokely offers way more customizable food than PCB or Volunteer Hall. They have a vegan bar, which is all vegan, and I actually ate there so many times without even knowing why it was vegan. I was always wondering why they didn't offer meat. Turns out it's a vegan bar. In the vegan bar, they have rice, barley, vegetables, and then they have these hot sauces that you can kind of mix in, and someone will prepare it for you right on the spot. But the lines do get pretty long, so be wary of that. If you want to wait, that's great, but sometimes a 30-minute wait is a bit too much when you have an hour in between classes. The next thing that Stokely has that's pretty unique is a noodle stir-fry station. It's towards the back, so you do have to walk past all the food to get to it, but this is only open for dinner. I've never seen it open for lunch, but they hand cook all their noodles and rice. Unfortunately though, I never got to try it because the lines were always so long. I think that some people might have waited at least 45 minutes by the look of it, so if you're gonna try that, make sure you get there right as dinner starts at 4:30 p.m. Finally, the last dining hall that UT offers is called Volunteer Hall, and that is located on the other side of campus. It's pretty close to Mossman and Strong Hall, and towards that end of campus. If you have classes up there, that's a really good option to go and check out. I've never eaten at Volunteer Hall, so I really can't say much, but overall I've heard that the breakfast is pretty good. And there you have it. There's all three options of your dining halls. Next, we're going to talk all about meal equivalency. What is it? You hear the term meal equivalency all over from the beginning of freshman. Some people will try and take the time to explain it, but let's be honest, it's just super confusing. It's basically when you swap in one of your meal swipes at the dining hall, so you can't do this multiple times. Meal equivalency is only allowed once per block of time. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can do meal equivalency 3 times if you want, but if you do meal equivalency, you cannot go to the dining halls and eat afterwards, or you'll have to pay for the dining hall. So that is important to remember. It's either one or the other, it's not both. The hours for ME are from 7 to 10:30 a.m. for breakfast. Now during breakfast, you can go to the Pod Market, which is basically a miniature, extremely overpriced grocery store that has a few essentials. So it does have, you know, the milks, the ice cream, bread, that kind of thing, but it is very expensive. For a pack of cheddar cheese, it's around $6.75, so be aware of that. You can go to Mabel's or Dunkin' Donuts, and meal equivalency is $4.35 for that breakfast time slot. So if you get something that is more than $4.35, you will have to pay the remaining balance. Say it is $5 for your coffee and a donut at Dunkin' Donuts, just pretending here. You tell the cashier you want to use meal equivalency, so that means you cannot go to the dining hall. You are done with that meal period until 10:30 hits. That means your remaining balance is going to be 65 cents, and you can use those $300 in dining dollars to pay the remaining balance, or you can use cash or a credit card. Next, for lunch, you have a bit more options, but you're still really limited. Know that for both breakfast and lunch, your options are going to be extremely limited. You can't just go wherever you want for ME. You really have to time it out and know your options and your times and how much you're allotted. For lunch, they give you $4.85. You can swipe in anytime between 10:30 and 4 p.m. The places that you can go to include Quiznos, which is a sub place, Dippers, which is a fried chicken place or a chicken place. Then you've got the traditional Pod Market. Finally, you've got Mabel's, which is basically like a dining hall, but it's super small, and there's only 2 locations, and one of them is on the Ag campus. Next, you've got dinner, and you have the same amount as lunch, which is $4.85. To get dinner for $4.85 is pretty much unheard of. I mean, you can definitely do it, but you're probably not going to be full, or you're not going to get a high quality meal. Nevertheless, you do have a lot more options for dinner than you do for lunch. Here are some of your options: Twisted Taco, Qdoba, Starbucks, Subway, Panda Express, Rising Roll, Chick-fil-A, and Steak and Shake. I think I covered them all, but just in case, if I didn't, I'll leave it up here. Last but not least, we have a late night option. This is anywhere between 8 to 1 a.m. and not a lot of restaurants are open, as you can probably imagine, but they do allot you the same $4.85. You can go to the Pod Market at Hodges or Stokely only, Panda Express, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and finally Subway. I know that I briefly already mentioned the Pod Markets. I did want to let you guys know there is a small refrigerated section that already has pre-made meals. They have peanut butter sandwiches, salads, fruit cups, that kind of thing. So it is a relatively small selection, but they do have some fairly decent options. I highly recommend the apples with caramel. They are absolutely amazing. I love those things. The best part about the Pod Markets is you can use meal equivalency during one of those meal slots as well, and you can do that if you're sick and tired of the dining halls. Finally, I'm going to give you guys some advice and tips on how to make the most out of your UTK dining hall experience. The number one thing that I didn't realize as a freshman was that the dining halls actually post their menus on the Vol Dining website. So if you go onto the Vol Dining website at UTK and you scroll down a little bit, you can click View Menu, which is a huge game changer. That way, if you're in bed and you're just wanting some breakfast but you don't know if they're going to have those chocolate chip pancakes, you can go and look on the website and it'll tell you everything that they're serving. Just a heads up here though, sometimes it's not always accurate because they don't account for running out or limited supplies, things like that, but normally it is a good rough guide or estimate of all the things that they're offering, so go check that out before you go to the dining halls. It can save an extra trip just in case you don't see what you're wanting to eat. My next bit of advice for you guys is to know the hours of operation for everything. The dining halls are especially important because they have varying hours. For PCB, they typically open at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, although sometimes they open at 7:05. They're not always on time, and it goes until 8 p.m. And this is only for Monday through Friday. Now the weekends get a little bit wonky. On Saturday, they typically open a little bit later, around 8 or 9 o'clock, and get this, they close at 2 p.m. So you have to fend for yourself for dinner because guess what? Stokely is not open on the weekends. I know, it's crazy. So dinners of Saturday, they're rough at UT, let me tell you. Very, very rough. And it's hard to find anything because nothing is open, including most of the restaurants at the student union. Then I couldn't really find anything about volunteer halls, so I'd recommend going and checking out the website as it gets closer to the class times. And there we have it. All of my advice for you guys that are just entering UTK. I really hope that this video helped you guys out and made you a bit more aware of what you're getting into in terms of the dining halls at UTK. I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!